So it's finally come down to this. This is it, the 8th and final gym leader. And I'm going to have to do something a little bit strange for this one. You see, I actually don't have enough anime screenshots to give Drayden a full intro like I did the other gym leaders. The reason why is that for some reason, Drayden wasn't actually battled in the anime, at least not in the gym battle. They went a very different route, and which I'll probably talk about later in the video, but suffice to say that means that Drayden doesn't really get that much screen time, and so doesn't really have that many clips I can actually really use of him. However, one clip was pretty much all I needed, and the reason why is, well, to me, Drayden has always reminded me of a certain someone. Who is that someone? Well, you'll find out in a moment. And that's enough of that. Yeah, I've kind of always thought that he looks like he could be Damon Gant's long-lost cousin, but anyway, you know, mostly in the way that he stares at you, and his beard and stuff, but anyway. This is the final trial, Opelucid City Pokemon Gym. Naturally, the gym is both black and white, and for the very last time, we get a free freshwater. Unfortunately, freshwaters have long since become obsolete, but it's the thought that counts. So, and naturally, the path here is shaped by 2 dragons. Unlike the founding dragons of Unova, though, we interrupt this broadcast to bring you me leaving the gym. Yes, derp that I am, I forgot to actually rearrange my party before actually going into the battle. So that was anticlimactic, sorry. Failure! Anyway, I'm just gonna have to go and get some more things out of here. So we have Phil there, quirky nature, might be okay as a tank. Oh, hey, it was holding a nugget, nice. Yeah, sometimes, I believe Grimer and Muck did that too. You sometimes have garbage Pokemon holding nuggets, but anyway. Here we have a Golki whose moveset leaves a lot to be desired at this point, especially Flat. Flatter is a really weird, practically pointless move, so I've never really understood the point of Flatter's existence, so anyway. But, of course, we're going to want to fill our team with lots and lots of ice types. As many ice types as we can. Because, yes, naturally, we're going up against dragons, and, of course, in the absence of fairies, this is our best defense against them. You know, this video should be uploaded only quite soon before X and Y actually get released, so, enjoy these last moments of freedom while you still can, dragons, because soon, very soon, the fairies will come for you. And then your reign will end at long last. Be afraid. Be very, very afraid. All ominousness aside, let's go back into the gym. And in the absence of a dedicated Dragon Tamer class, the trainers in this gym are mostly ace trainers and veterans. Not that really makes any difference, because they're all going to use Dragon types anyway. And yes, by the way, these guys aren't kidding when they say they're tough trainers, unlike most people in this game. These opponents can be actually kind of tough if you underestimate them. For example, this guy's about to send out a Fraction, the evolved form of Axew. Why is this thing so dangerous? Well, for one, it's level 41. That's higher than we can actually legitimately... Well, technically speaking, there's actually a certain legendary Pokemon you can catch at this point. But, that would just... I think that would be cheap. I'm not going to catch it until after this gym battle. So anyway, I can try and Dragon Claw this thing for a nice 1-hit KO, but you might have noticed it using a certain move there. Dragon Dance. If you are not prepared for it, and you are not prepared to KO those things as fast as possible after they have used Dragon Dance, well, that thing will completely wreck your team. And of course, the gimmick of this gym is getting up on the dragons' backs! Fortunately, we don't have to have that yelled at us every few seconds. Thank you, Kingdom Hearts. Anyway, once we get up on the dragons' backs, we'll notice that we have these little arrow things. We can only jump over them from the direction that they're sort of leading us in. And there's some dead-end paths over here. Thin pathways over a sheer drop. Once again, Unova's gyms have no sense of occupational health and safety. And like all gym trainers, we've got to learn how to move. Like all gyms, we've got to learn how to move forward in the gym by the trainers. So here we have another ace trainer. Olwen, what are you doing outside of Fire Emblem 5? Let's just hope you didn't bring your Dive Thunder with you. That thing's ridiculous. Oh wow! Oh my! Please tell me Reinhardt isn't in this gym. Trust me, Reinhardt. I only beat that guy because his AI derped and captured Leif. I think it's pronounced Leif. Anyway, captured him instead of killing him, rendering all his stats halved and rendering him easy pickings. But this isn't Fire Emblem. So yeah, we have to jump from a triangle mark and land on the dragon's hands, which will cause them to shift their heads, which will allow us to move further in the gym. So that's how things go. This gym's actually kind of complicated, and it's one of the longest in the game. Naturally, of course, since it's, you know, the last gym in the game, it only makes sense for it to be a climactic one. This is the second time a Dragon Gym has been the final one in a region. The first was, you know, back in Gold and Silver, and it does kind of make a lot of sense for Dragon to be the last gym you fight, because most Dragon types require a high level to evolve, so it only makes sense for them to be quite late, because most of their levels need to be in the mid to late 40s to early 50s, and you can't legitimately get away with that outside of a last gym, so it makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the fact that Ice has been the 7th gym for 3 generations, which, again, there are plenty of weaker Ice types they could use for an early game gym, so once again, I don't see that. Of course, what makes even less sense is the fact that, okay, I have one-shotted every single dragon in this gym so far, and that makes me happy. Will my luck hold out, or will I get too cocky? You'll see. Oh boy, Dragon Man. Yeah, this thing is gonna wreck you if you don't deal with it fast. Oh wow, it'd be nice to have some Faries here, or Wyrmslayer, or well, fortunately there are no wives in this gym. Oh, sweet Arceus. If it turns out there's a Dragon Gym in X and Y and the leader uses Noivern, I am seriously gonna freak out. But anyway. So, apparently we've got to do puzzles based on which arms are up or down. This puzzle actually gets legitimately tricky sometimes. So for the time being, the head is pointing straight up. So basically, the guy said that when both arms are down, the head will be down. If both are up, the head will be straight up. If one is up and the other's down, the head will be pointing either left or right. I believe that's how this works. Later on, we'll have some puzzles where we're going to need to jump over some ledges and double back on ourselves. It's actually kind of a creative and interesting gym. I do kind of like it. The puzzle wasn't as like an interesting as a puzzle in Black and White 2, but oh boy, the sheer cool factor of the gym in that game, wow, that was awesome. I love that gym in Black and White 2. It's just, seriously, yep, I'll get to it when we get to it, but it's just amazing. So much sheer awesomeness factor. So, Polo is very slow, but Icicle Crash does tend to one-shot these things. I think it does have less than perfect accuracy though, so I might be in trouble if— oh boy! This is not so good, because I'm going to have to switch out, because there's no way I'm going to outspeed that thing, and if that thing starts using, Dragon Dance, oh, this could be bad. Now, really what I should have done is, I have an insurance policy against Dragon. Oh, there are no words to describe that. Seriously. swipe? Really? False swipe in an 8 gym challenge. Seriously. Oh my sweet. Oh, you suck. You really suck. Seriously. For those of you who don't know, false swipe guarantees that your target will not faint. It's completely and utterly useless in competitive battles. One of the best moves in the game for catching Pokemon, but seriously, wow! You can see Drayden all the way up there. Unfortunately, we won't be getting to him just yet, because this head is not quite positioned right. As you can see, it's down. We're gonna have to fix that, but it won't be for a little while. Time to take the long way around. Oh, and we're about to meet with our first veteran of this gym, which could be a problem. Yeah, like I was saying before, I have a bit of an insurance policy against Dragon Dancers. I've kept, Power Swap, or no, Power Split, I think it is, on Cofagrigus. What the move does is, it's like Pain Split, but for your attack stat. It basically averages out the attack and special attack stats of both Pokemon. Basically adding them together, dividing them by 2, and giving the result to both Pokemon. Since Cofagrigus doesn't have the best physical attack, it's often nice to use this because it will generally result in your opponent's physical attack being lower than it normally would be. Guard Split does the same thing, except it's probably not so likely to work well on Cofagrigus because Cofagrigus has very good defenses. I did not notice what ability I just got rid of. I hope it was Sheer Force, because if it was, you were not going to be doing any added effects to me. So notice here, Night Slash will hopefully be doing a bit less damage. See? That certainly did less damage than it did the first time because of Power Split. It can actually be kind of an alright move in the right circumstances. Pretty good on something like Cofagrigus, again, that has kind of low attacking stats. Probably don't want to use Guard Split though, because you'll generally be giving them better defenses than they had normally, and you'll be severely lowering your own defenses, because Cofagrigus has great defenses, and if you're averaging those out with the opponent, chances are they're going to end up lower than they were when they started. You know what would be kind of, oh boy, Zen mode, that's bad because I just used a physical attack, didn't I? Oh dear. And I am, okay, that's now super effective on me, and gone. Fortunately, high critical hit ratio doesn't count as an added effect when it comes to Sheer Force, so it's not going to be powered up. But of course, even if it did have Sheer Force, it would already be gone, and wow! Okay, by the way, Gelatoad was the one I caught off camera, but it's being awesome. That Ice Beam is just... it's being surprisingly fast, too. And bulky, wow. Gelatoad, I do not regret catching you at one level lower than you're supposed to be, and going through all that trouble to get you. Once again, this thing only appears in winter outside Dragon's Spiral Tower, so, yeah, hence the clock reset I had to pull. So, let's just go ahead, and as you can see here, we've got, nothing over there. And away we can, jump back on this hand right here, and raise the head to that way. Hopefully this results in a new place we can go to. And we're going to have to do that because we can't actually get around to the second one. Now what we need to do here is obviously jump on the second head to make the dragon head go up. But in order to do that, we're going to have to take a pretty long detour. Again, I do kind of like the puzzles in this gym, and it's long and there's a lot of trainers, but it does feel kind of satisfying. Actually, it might be one of my favourite last gyms in the series. I mean, first generation, the final gym of that one was just really annoying. It was just full of, I like to call those spinny panels. Yeah, full of, I can skip you. Actually, I can't skip you because I'm blocked in that direction. Dang it. So, that one was full of spinny panels that were really annoying. The last gym of, that changed heavily between the Gold and Silver and the originals and the remakes. Oh, by the way, you're probably seeing this Pokemon Dino here and wondering, hey, I haven't actually seen that one before. Dino is a Dark and Dragon type, and I'll just spoil this for you right here. We won't be able to catch this thing until Victory Road. Sadly, despite its evolved forms being incredibly awesome, it's actually this game's pseudo-legendary, so, like, if you don't know what that term means, things like Tyranitar, Salamence, Dragonite, Garchomp, like that. Most of them are Dragon types, so I'm wondering if Gen if Gen 6 is not going to be Dragon type. The rumour was that the pseudo-legendary of... I'm going to say this right now because this rumour has been confirmed false, so don't get your hopes up. The rumour was that the pseudo-legendary of X and Y would be a dual Fairy and Fighting type Minotaur evolution line. Of course, that has been proven 100% completely false, because that guy also said that, he said a few things we now know are completely not true. He said that Litleo would evolve into a Manticore, which is not true at all. I'm actually glad it isn't, because Fire Poison is a horrible defensive typing. Plus, Pyroar is awesome. So anyway, I forgot what I was going to say before. Oh yes, final gyms. The original Gold and Silver one involved you pushing boulders into lava, and as cool as that was, it was kind of a weird maze and it looked sort of bland. The Half Gold Soul Silver version was amazing graphics-wise, but I don't really have that many memories of that place since I pretty much breezed through it back then. Oh boy, actually, wait a minute, that's not gonna hurt me at all. Wow, that was stupid. Why did I freak out about that? In fact, it would be much better for me to use Taunt on these things to lock them out of Dragon Dance. You know, I had this feeling I had a problem with at least one trainer in this gym, but so far things have been doing pretty well. Then, third generation final gym, annoying ice puzzles. Those were kinda weird, because the puzzles were easy once you figured them out, and you had to deliberately fail them to actually battle any trainers at all, so that was a bit of a weird one. You might notice that that head was already pointing a direction we could move in, but now it's actually changed, so we're gonna have to go back and change this guy. And there are way more than 2 dragons in this gym. What was the person at the start saying? And yeah, we're doubling back on ourselves. That happens a few times in this gym. 4th gen final gym, yeah, I didn't really like most of the 4th gen main story, but anyway. That was Volkner, wasn't it? That was alright, but it was kind of offset by the fact that in the original Diamond and Pearl versions, none of the trainers in there, well, most of the trainers in there, didn't actually even use electric types. That was one of my main complaints with Diamond and Pearl, not so much Platinum, the fact that the dex was just really weird and heavily lacking in type diversity. Flint, seriously. If I ever did do a 4th gen no experience, it would probably be on Platinum, and I wouldn't have to deal with that problem, but seriously. Flint, hands down, most disappointing Elite 4 member ever. Less than half his team is actually fire type. Seriously. Not only that, but he has a Drift Blimp that double team Baton passes. Ugh. So, yeah, that gym, still a little disappointing. And then we get to this one, which I kinda like. What's in store for the 6th gyms, 8th gym? Well, I don't know and I don't want to know. I'll save that for the blind run, which is hopefully coming soon. I know, I will say right now, I know everyone and their mother, I definitely know this because I've been on the 3DS capture card forums for a long time, and a whole lot of people are saying, I want my capture card for X and Y, I want my capture card for X and Y. You know, I actually didn't originally want my capture card for X and Y. I never actually planned to do a blind run. I just figured that if it was coming around that time that I would. I actually ordered it for my birthday. It's actually past my birthday now, so it's gonna be quite late, but still. But really, the main reason I ordered it was so that I could record X and Y Wi-Fi matches, and so I could eventually do a Fire Emblem Awakening playthrough. But anyway, I know that everyone and their mother is going to be doing a Pokemon X and Y Let's Play the time it comes out, and I will admit right now that mine is probably not going to stand out from the bunch, but hey, this is the first time I'm ever going to have my reactions to a new Pokemon game live and blind. So, I just want to record that and see if people find it interesting. So, that's all, basically. Oh, okay. Now, I was kind of worried that this person would actually walk forward and block my way. Fortunately, the developers actually programmed this well. I reckon it would be very, very easy to do this in a bad ROM hack. Make it so that this trainer spots you like one space before here and walks up, blocking the path, forcing you to leave the gym and come back just to progress. I get the feeling that in the bad ROM hack, you could easily do that, but these people actually know what they're doing and made it so that she doesn't move until she's right in the place where she won't block you. So, the levels are getting a little higher here, so we're gonna need to be a bit more careful. Especially of Dragon Dance. And that's not gonna really help you, because I'm pretty sure I have all attacking moves. Anyway, oh great, that is what I was afraid of before! That's what I was afraid of before. And if I miss again, I'm really gonna get pissed off. Okay, good. Please one-shot. If you don't one-shot, this could be bad. Oh, crap. Okay, this could end very badly. Oh, hold on, because you're gonna get KO'd right now. You know, if you're content to just sit there and spam Dragon Dance all day, then, you're kinda gonna go down. The AI has this weird tendency to just spam stat boosting moves forever and never actually do anything to you. They do that a lot in Battle Subway as well. You see things that go like Dragon Dance, Dragon Dance, Dragon Dance, Dragon Dance, and they just keep doing it, and you just KO them. Of course, if they decide to actually attack you, then you're completely screwed, but still. Like this. This guy's actually decided to attack us, and if I had priority moves, this would be great, but unfortunately I don't, and here's where things get problematic. This thing's used one Dragon Dance, it's surviving, and, oh crap. The only thing I have that's left that's on full HP is weak to Dragon. This could end very badly. Unless... Okay, so Gelato has been, ironically, owned. But I have a cunning plan. Or not, I could just send out Damame and try and heal and just pray that I survive. If worse comes to worse, I have an insurance policy. I just hope that I have, or... You know, I keep thinking that Herbie has Sturdy, but it actually doesn't. But, sorry, goodbye, Damame. I am definitely going to need to go back and heal after this, so I'll be cutting out some footage here. In fact, yeah, I just kind of realized something. I forget if I keep forgetting my Pokemon's abilities here. I really should stop doing that. But anyway, oh boy, survive it, survive it, survive it, survive, 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 come on, you can do this, survive it, yes! And crisis averted. Now, my insurance policy was that if my Drayden actually had rough skin, chances are that rough skin damage would be enough to knock this thing out, and since Dragon Claw is a physical contact move, I could have sent Drayden in first and sacrificed it, but caught the KO with rough skin. Benefit of hindsight and all that. That's the thing with doing post-commentary. Gonna wonder how interesting things are gonna be when I start doing live commentary for X and Y. Gonna be interesting, certainly. It was my first attempt at live commentary. So, up we go up the dragon's neck, and here we are. Now, I did say I was gonna visit a Pokemon Center, but I just realized that... Oh, okay, I cut the footage here, didn't I? I forget what I did sometimes. But anyway, it's time to battle Drayden, who totally isn't Gant's cousin. So yes, Drayden is the mayor of this city. What is it with mayors and being really awesome? You have Mike Hagger as well as, like, awesome mayors. But anyway. So, this guy basically quotes the exact same thing in the PWT. And like I've been saying, if you're playing white version, you'll actually battle Iris here rather than Drayden. And like I was saying, sadly the difference is almost purely aesthetic. Because both of them have the exact same team. They both lead with Fracture. The only difference is that, like I've said before, Iris' team is all female, Drayden's team is all male. There is one other difference, and I'll be getting to that in a bit, but I'm tossing up using Bulldoze for a second, but oh great. So Drayden likes to use Dragon Dance, but there's an unfortunate problem in Drayden's team that makes him a lot easier than he should be. Wow, I certainly didn't see that coming. That thing survived with like 1 pixel of health. And I'm actually kind of fine with that. You know why? Watch this. Oh, you're here. Okay, you're not going to demo this just yet. Surely we'll see this later in the battle. But there's one thing about I almost said Dan's there. Oh, and critical hit and gone anyway. Oh well. Drayden slash Gant slash whatever the hell his name is, has a certain problem with his team that will certainly show its ugly head eventually. Notice how this thing is faster than Polar? Just keep that in mind. Now, the other interesting thing about their teams, Drayden and Iris, comes down to this one Druddigon. I believe Drayden's Druddigon has sheer force and Iris's have rough skin, or it could be the other way around. I'm actually not entirely sure. Notice there how I struck first. He was definitely faster than me for the rest of the battle, so what happened? Well, that is something to do with Drayden's TM, which you'll be seeing in a bit. And yep, here is Haxorus, the final form of Axew, and it has one of the most awesome names in the history of Pokemon. It's also pretty awesome too. It's basically a dinosaur with an axe for a head, and oh great, phew, it missed. That thing there is Dragon Tail, Drayden's signature move. I'll talk a little bit more about Dragon Tail later, but suffice to say, flinch, really? Oh boy. Wow, Drayden, that was pathetic. Seriously, that was easier than Skylar. I didn't lose a single Pokemon. I swept the whole battle with just one move. Wow! I did not see that coming. Drayden, you seriously sucked that time. So I guess I need to talk about Drayden's signature move here. Well, I'm certainly not grateful that you were so pathetic. Seriously, I did not expect my last gym battle to be this easy. This was one big, fat anticlimax, and I really want to remedy it. So with that, we get the, Staring Eye badge. The Legend badge. So now we have all the gym badges. It's time to head on over to the Pokemon League. Oh, I wish. That means all traded Pokemon, by the way. So here's a TM that he's particularly fond of. Dragon Tail. And this is part of the reason the fight is actually so easy. Not that Dragon Tail is a bad move, but this guy uses it all wrong. Basically, Dragon Tail is a damaging version of Roar or Whirlwind. When a Pokemon is hit by the move, they're forced to switch out. It only has 60 power, but the thing is, being an instant switch out move, just like Roar and Whirlwind, it has negative priority. It always strikes last, regardless of anything else. And what that means is that even if this guy uses Dragon Dances, the speed boost from Dragon Dance means nothing. Because he will always be striking last with his stab moves, and that really works against him. So we head on out of the gym, and we have... Oh, hi, Professor Juniper. But before that... Excuse me, game. I'd like to return this gym battle because I'm not completely satisfied with it. Yes, I made Drayden look so pathetic and so anticlimactic, I actually went and battled him again. Seriously, I know that it sounds weird, but I just am not comfortable with the final gym battle being a one Pokemon sweep. It's just anticlimactic, it just doesn't feel good to me, and I made him look so much easier than he actually is. So, just to give the guy some credit, I'm going to do this battle again. Hopefully it doesn't end up as a one Pokemon sweep this time. I mean, the whole point of this playthrough was to challenge myself. That was no challenge at all, hence it has no point being in the playthrough, even though I'm still going to show it. So anyway, I'm going to go and redo this battle again. I'm going to use an actual strategy this time of smacking it with Bulldoze and to lower its speed so its Dragon Dances don't get too out of hand, and then I will hit it then with Icicle Crash because that actually puts him out of healing range, that first hit. So that was kind of cool. Now I'll try and get my Druddigon into a battle with this other Druddigon. Now, like I was saying before, mine does have rough skin after all. Oh well. Like I was saying about Dragon Tail, I get the feeling he's going to use it now because I'm going first. Not quite. Oh, and he's got rough. Oh, turns out Drayden's was the one with rough skin. Okay, so here's Dragon Tail. Forces you to switch out, but that's not going to happen because oh crap, he's going to heal. Damn it. It's not actually going to happen because I'm KO'd anyway. Now, yes, Dragon Tail strikes with a massive negative priority modifier to speed. I mean, when I was back talking about this when I first recorded this challenge to some people I knew, I was all like, hey, my Icicle crashed his last Pokemon before actually managed to hit me. And they were like, what? How the hell did Beartic outspeed Haxorus? And I'm like, Dragon Tail, negative priority. Yeah. Now, spamming Acid Armor might be, in fact it definitely is, incredibly stupid here, because not only can he use Chip Away to completely circumvent my stat boosts, but he can use Dragon Tail to completely erase my stat boosts. Wow, I was a derp here. Oh boy, that could be bad. Yeah, you've seen how powerful Revenge can get. Fortunately, those Acid Armors protected me. Why isn't he using Dragon Tail? He could have easily just switched me out and erased my boosts. Yeah, but he's kind of a derp sometimes. So, yeah, looks like this is not going to be particularly satisfying of a battle anyway. Drayden was a lot easier than I gave him credit for, sadly. Now I'm going to Taunt to shut him off Dragon Dance. One thing I disliked about the last battle is mostly due to a flinch towards the end, and I would have been cared anyway. Due to that flinch towards the end, I really didn't get a chance to show off any actual strategy, like I'm going to here. So here was the actual plan I had to deal with Haxorus. First, I used Taunt to lock him out of using Dragon Dance, and Assurance is actually pretty annoying. Next, I get rid of his Rivalry, resulting in him not doing bonus damage against other males. Then, I use Power Split to further lower his own attack stat. Now this Haxorus is pretty badly crippled, but I can go further. I mean, if I had the sense to teach Will-O-Wisp to that Cofagrigus, I could have burned him too, on top of that. Now, hopefully, I can send in Beartic and watch as he does barely anything to me. Unfortunately, his Taunt is worn off, but even if he does start using Dragon Dance, I can just erase those speed boosts with Bulldoze. Of course, once again, like I said, the speed boosts mean nothing, because if he uses Dragon Tail, it's negative priority anyway, and that ignores speed boosts. Of course, if you both use boosts in the same priority bracket, then the one with the highest speed goes first. So if it comes down to Tail Wrestling, which it actually won't because none of my Pokemon can have Dragon Tail at this point, it would be kind of funny to get into a Tail Wrestling contest, but that's not going to happen. Oh, great, Hyper Potion. And you're at +2 attack. Fortunately, all those measures I took to lowering an attack. Oh, actually though, annoyingly, since I got rid of Rivalry, he's actually going to be doing more damage to Beartic. Rivalry lowers the amount of damage you do against opposite gender Pokemon, but increases the damage you do against the same gender. It's obviously a reference to real-world animals that fight to compete for mates. And you were going to use Dragon Tail again, which spelled your doom, because negative priority. So, once again, Drayden is defeated, and he really wasn't that hard. So, that's 2 battles, 2 gym battles for the price of 1, 8 badges down. Thank you for watching, everyone, and next time I'll see you as we head towards Victory Road.